Greetings. You are now getting and receiving your daily dose for today. This is your daily message as you're paying real slow. In a beautiful area, beautiful park right now. Just gonna show y'all a few little things today. Greetings, beautiful people. Let's see if I can get this set up. I know it's gonna adjust. Always adjusting and making that noise. What's happening? Oh. Let's see if I can position this another way. Happy people. Anywho, finna get been doing a lot of movement. For those that, aren't aware, movement, dancing, stretching releases a lot of blockages in the body. Gotta bear with me, I'm just getting this camera set up. It adjusts like crazy. Okay, hold on, let me see what I want to do. What am I doing? But as I said before, a lot of these things, I realize that a lot of us are in these places because growing up in certain environments, we aren't taught the importance of like stretching, which helps with a lot of blockages in the body, like I said before. It helps with a lot of blockages in the body. I was expressing to someone how this is a part of the healing and evolution and the spiritual growth that's happening in the community and happening within us and outwardly. Being in a place, an open park where it's like no distractions, being in nature. It's a beautiful park here. Have a bee that obviously wants to tend. But as I was saying, see, a lot of what we've learned is through like the medical way. And this is dealing with hospitals and a lot of the conditioning programming. But, even if it goes into even sports and so many other things, is that now we're learning the holistic way. I never cared for medicine. I never cared to even indulge in a lot of stuff because I was always questioning everything. I was always the one questioning everything. I was always the one like reading things and like ibuprofen. It even tells you on the back of the label like how how it affects the liver. Just expressing to a lot of, empowering my feminine aspect of who I am, the woman, which I came from. And that's through seeing so much conditioning, how much our people have been conditioned and programmed just through life. And a lot of it was very painful. And see, that's what medication does. It's like a temporary thing. And so this is why I'm realizing the importance going back to stretching. How people that say that they have arthritis or they're feeling all these different pains in their body. And see, that's due to a lot of blockages because our body is made up of water, oxygen, energy. And let's say, for instance, I'll use myself. When I was younger, I was hit by a car. And so for periods of time, from playing basketball, just in and out with just playing football for a little bit, but a lot of things, traumatically, the trauma, a lot of stuff that was that created the blockage after the car wreck. I had to, over time, gradually learn the process of stretching, meeting people that may call it yogi or yoga, or I just say releasing blockages in the body. And it goes back to how we are, our bodies are made up of water. And so, growing up around drinking, so much soda, so much, sugary things, growing up, just drinking basically things that, again, it's not hydrating us. And so going back to this part, this is the part of my body where, like, I was hit by the car, I landed, and where I landed, it shifted my hips. And so what that did, it created, your hips are connected to your spine. Those that are athletes, your hips are connected to your spine. And let me see if I can get this to adjust. Your hips are connected to your spine. Come on, adjust. So your hips are connected to your spine, and everything in your body is connected. So that being said, I was expressing to someone even how, like, your Achilles comes all the way up here, all the way up. And it, again, you're talking about all your muscles. We're talking about, how the blood circulates from the heart, pumps from the heart to the brain, all the way through the body. And so all of these things are connected. And so that being said, is that now we're going the approach of a holistic way. We're taught to go out and run and do all these things, and not realizing how much pressure it is on the body, and how vibrationally, even when we run, how the force of gravity comes down, then that vibration, eventually passes up through the body and goes to the brain. And so again, for the melanated community, or typically people that have grown up in these rural areas, or these areas we know as the hood, a lot of this isn't taught. We're not taught the holistic way of, drinking more water, listening to our bodies, knowing that we can naturally heal our body when we get a scar. And so that's how I feel what's happening right now in the world, in these communities, or just by those that are aware of their light and honoring the holistic way of going about things rather than the medical way. Because the medical industry, the business, that has to do with greed and money. It has served its purpose. My perception on it is that I know I can heal my body. I know that I can, there are other ways holistically that I can go about things, such as, the stretching routine, such as drinking more water and looking more better, because the water cleanses our body. We're naturally flushing our body. We're naturally cleansing our body. And so, and I say these things because, again, we know, like, let's be real, like, we grew up in areas, like how I grew up, there wasn't nothing but McDonald's. We only had access to McDonald's. Or we only had access to certain places where, again, growing up eating candy so young. So like, it's a process of, like, learning, like, we're getting out of that survival mode, like accepting the survival. And see, this is what, again, you see how the world is changing. And it goes as deep as even, people just trying to focus on, like, oh, I gotta keep my body, I gotta push my body, I gotta overdo it just to survive this world. And I'm letting y'all know it's much more deeper than, it's much more of a spiritual thing, because we are healing, our mothers are healing, and then we are healing. That's why I always express about how mothers that have been through the hospital, going through pregnancy that way, and me experiencing it with my partners and other women that have also, have traumatic experiences in the hospital. And it's the same with us, like how we even the issue, the thing with circumcision. You know, it goes so much deeper. But you know, again, this is why I love me, and this is why I realize that honoring my light, honoring who I am, some way, somehow, we're going to touch the world in different ways now, and not only mentally, spiritually, but physically. And it starts with acknowledging and accepting, you know, what has happened and what our ancestors have, you know, guided us through, and us being the continuance of that. So, you know, me speaking about the whole car wreck thing, you know, my hip would pop so much because my body wasn't in alignment. And it's so amazing how even my journey in life, my spiritual journey, how I stayed, you know, in alignment, or how certain experiences upon my journey got me right here where I'm at. And so nothing I am ashamed or of, or I've accepted, you know, what has happened. And so now I'm at a place where I'm at more peace. I attract that. I am aligned with that. My life now, as you can see, is more harmonious. And now it's just more staying balanced and being neutral. And so my message again to y'all is like, get out in nature, stretch. If you gotta watch the videos, you know, I'll get more into that too, with showing y'all the importance of stretching. One of the ones that really are important is this stretch right here. This stretch right here, I was showing someone, like, it stretches your hips, it stretches, you know, everything here, and it helps your hips and releases a lot of tension in the body. So I usually sit here for maybe a couple seconds, a couple minutes, but I still let you know to breathe, because a lot of us are not able to get in that position. You know, me learning from past, you know, even the frog pose, you know, how we're like this. And you know, some people bounce their hips or can turn this way, like even when you know, this way right here, and you're sitting, this opens up the hips. So it allows blood to flow to, you know, back to these places in your legs. And sometimes when I sit like this from walking or, you know, doing a lot of exercising and stuff, I can feel the tension. And see, that's because of the blood needs to circulate and get to these places, because again, our body is made up of oxygen. Water is oxygen. Our blood is oxygen. So this is why you have to see over time how our moms or people have been working in and out so much to where they're not realizing, like even grounding, put my feet to the ground, connecting to the earth, put my feet in water. Everything, you can research this, every nerve, everything in your body, up under your feet, nerves, everything is connected to everything in your body. It's like the base, it's like the roots, you're like the tree, but it's like everything at the bottom of your feet. And look at how our people been on their feet for so long, not allowing themselves to rest. I am here to let y'all know, when you're in spirit, spiritually in tune, rest is so vital. Hydration is number one, and resting, both. I put them same by same, because we have to allow ourselves to rest. We have to allow ourselves to get hydrated. It's a process, but I'm sharing this so it can help someone. And I appreciate you. By taking care of me, I take care of everyone. By taking care of you, you take care of everyone. And this is especially I always express this to my feminine, you know, aspects of myself, which is the woman. But, you know, I let y'all know, rest. These jobs or these places they always gonna replace you. But at the same moment, your rest and your mental health and your spiritual, you know, health, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, is more important than any position, any job. I know you're like, oh, what do you mean, how I'm gonna pay my bills? Well, this is when spirit steps in. We're coming into a new way now, where people are honoring, you know, their spiritual, because it's in alignment with who you are physically. Life becomes more at ease when you're in balance. So, I love you, appreciate you, peace and blessings, shalom.